Fala galera do Mundo Mágico, here's me again. I know it has been a long time since my last video, but things went a little bit crazy with the pandemic and everything, so you know, I have been locked in the house, and then I have to be, you know, my kids' teachers and different levels of schooling, so I didn't have much time to focus in this project, but here I am again. There are many things that are going on since last time I posted a new video, and there are some interesting news. So we haven't heard many things about Fantastic Beasts 3 because of the pandemic, and they stop, as everybody knows, they stop production and locations and everything, you know, filming has stopped. But there are other ways to find out information from what's going on with the movies and production. And just recently I was watching in another channel in another language, and if you guys did not know that, I speak many other languages because I'm Brazilian with Japanese ancestry, so I speak both Japanese and Portuguese, and I lived in Russia for a while, so I understand Russian as well. So I was listening to another channel in another language, and if you guys are not aware of, the one of the persons that take care of designs and props for the Harry Potter movies and also for Fantastic Beasts, he is Brazilian, and he was just having a Q&A session, an informal session with somebody in Brazil from another channel. And so the questions were more surrounded about you know, what was the process that he went through to get the props done, and so he was telling many stories from Harry Potter movies, and they have worked in other projects since then, but mainly they still focus heavily in the wizard world, just because after filming from Harry Potter stopped, then they have the parks in Universal Studios, and they were responsible for the props, the designs, the posters, the banners, many items that you see in the parks. They were all creations from this guy who is Eduardo Lima, and from the company design company MinaLima, and so him and his partner Mira, they partner in business. They have been working in the parks. Eduardo is currently working in the designs for the covers of the book in Portuguese and in Brazil, and also they have been helping with the filming and props and designs for Fantastic Beasts. And so with that said, he was talking about not exactly, he cannot let much you know, give much information about the projects that they are working on for Fantastic Beasts 3, but because it's Brazilian, then the host of the channel, he was talking about things that you know, they might see in the movies, the upcoming movies, and especially Fantastic Beasts 3, which he couldn't say much, but because he was talking about the process, he maybe let some information out without actually intending to do so. But I was listening attentively because I wanted to know what's gonna happen in the next movie. And one thing that he said is that they have been doing research this past couple of years in Asia, and he was showing the books that they have researching on and his shelves right behind him, and he was saying that they have been researching art from Asia and Persia, and he was mentioning a trip that they did in Japan to take pictures of the art in there. I mean, the intent, it wasn't exactly for research in art itself, it looks like, because they just opened a shop in Japan, MinaLima shop for art and design in Osaka, in Japan, which is not too far from Universal Studios Osaka. So that's one of the news. They have a shop there for design in Osaka, in Japan. And he was saying that they were, but in this interview, he was, in this, not interview, it's not a formal interview, it was more like a conversation, a Q&A, informal Q&A with the host of the channel and his girlfriend. And so he was saying that they were doing research on that side and taking pictures of everything, and it took them a very long time to get to locations when they are in Japan, just because he was taking lots of pictures to use in the projects, in future projects. So he was talking to this right after he was talking about the project for Fantastic Beasts 3, so maybe he wasn't intending to, but maybe it's a hint that Fantastic Beasts 4 or any of other of the further projects for Fantastic Beasts gonna be located in Japan. So we probably should expect that one of the locations for the future movies after the third one, or maybe in the third one, will be Japan. We know that the Fantastic Beasts 3 will be located in Brazil, and that was confirmed by him during this interview, that the location for the third movie is going to be in Brazil, because he said, yes, and I will do my best to represent Brazil in the third movie, because he's Brazilian, so which means he already worked in stuff and props and designs for posters and things for Fantastic Beasts 3. So he said, I will do my best to represent Brazil, which that indicates that it's confirmed, and they already have been working in something for Brazil. And the way he was talking, it's a great possibility that the either in Fantastic Beasts 3 or the other movies that are coming after that, Fantastic Beasts 4 or 5, there will be some, it will happen in Japan, because they were taking lots of pictures with ideas and designs from Japan. And he was also saying that his process to create props, sometimes you have many ideas, sometimes you run out of them, and you have no idea in how to create props for a specific movie, because the books don't give you like all the details for the props for the movies. he was giving an example that in the Weasley shop, they had 5 products mentioned in the book, but they have to fill out with other products to fill the store. So they have to have ideas in what they would put in the shelves of the store. And so many of those things there were his team creation. It wasn't from the books. They have to fill the shelves. So same thing for the movies. He mentioned something that it's interesting, that now the locations are not focused in the Wizard Road, like Hogwarts anymore, but it's actually attached to real physical locations like Paris, like New York. So I'm foreseeing that probably he was searching on art from Japan, and the design, because I live in Japan. I totally understand. It's another planet, and if you're thinking about portray Japan in any way, or come with ideas to fill in the blanks for scenes in Japan, it's a good idea to take pictures of trivial things, so you can use it in the future to decide what exactly you're gonna fill the scenes with. Like even Japanese potholes are interesting because they all have like a picture or like a stamp of the city. So when you get off from the train stations in a specific city, you'll get a stamp in a piece of paper which has the same design of the potholes. So and Japanese architecture also is very different. It's very rich. It's very precise. Everything, all the beams and the buildings match each other, and you don't even need most times to use nails to attach anything to each other, because it's kind of a Lego. It fits everything together. So there are all these intricacies about architecture and art in Japan, and I'm pretty sure that that's why he was talking about taking pictures, because that's his field research for future movies. Maybe it might not be Japan, but probably it will be somewhere in Asia. But probably he was collecting material for future movies, which is very interesting. And I don't think he intended to say that they intended to have a movie in Japan, but that's what he let out when he was talking about the process. Okay, and then another new that he talked about, well, at least is new to me. He mentioned that they have their studios, MinaLima studios, in the British Isles, and also they opened one in Osaka, Japan, and he was wearing a hat with their names MinaLima in Japanese. Then he also mentioned that they will have MinaLima studios here in US. So I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't seen anything about it, but he mentioned their studios here in US. So, and I haven't heard any news about studios here in US, but he owns he's one of the partners in the studios, so he knows if they are opening or if they have a studio here or not. He mentioned that if it's not open, it's coming soon, and we might get tours from their studios as they have there in London, which would be nice to have a tour in their office and see the props for the movies. And if I'm guessing where the studio is gonna be, I would say either in Orlando, Florida, near to Universal Studios, as they did in Osaka, Japan, near to Universal Studios, or they are having in New York, I'm guessing. So who knows which one is gonna be. But yeah, that's the news that I have for today about the Wizard World and what's coming up for the projects with you know, the movies and you know, shops and things that might be happening in the future. So yeah, for today. Oh, and please, if you like the content of this channel, please subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notifications when I post new videos, and also hit the like, because you know, YouTube likes when people like my videos. So for today, that's all. Ciao, ciao.